You're scowling, Doctor.
I'm thinking.
Hello and good evening. Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 9. The Vengeance Factor is over, and it has been since 1989. But here in 2025 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Our mission to rewatch every episode of Star Trek TNG continues. One rogue faction, one tragic assassin, one conflicted first officer at a time. And in this episode, the Enterprise mediates a peace between the Acamarians and their long-exiled gatherers. But as the negotiations unfold, a quiet assassin named Yuta hides a centuries-old vendetta, and Commander Riker must choose between duty and his personal feelings. Now, here's the guy who watched Riker fall for a genetically programmed assassin, played by Lisa Wilcox, and thought, this is why you check for vengeance protocols and reality show resumes before flirting. Yes, it's that same Lisa Wilcox who later showed up on MILF Manor. I'm your host, Dave Mader. And let's break it all down tonight with our great panel. First, coming in from Ottawa to the Acamarian Council Chamber, he reads the mission like a treaty, calm, tactical, and already tracking the fault lines between reconciliation and revenge. It's Adam Woodward.
Did you guys think at all this was sort of like, the Canadians versus Americans? Like Trump is the Acamarians to the table, laughing and boisterous and just completely out of control. And we're trying to get. They don't even want to listen.
I was kind of getting like a Republican MAGA sort of thing, with the Acamarians. But yeah, we'll get all into that. From one nation's capital, we pivot to another. From Washington, D.C. to the final frontier, he's a lifelong Trek fan and a podcast newcomer, ready to challenge Riker's moral calculus with the same intensity he brings to the rink. It's Chris Shaggy Vasilas.
Thank you so much for the Arctic blast you sent our way. It's been cold down here today.
You're welcome. Happy Veterans Day to you, I suppose, or if it's a happy
I still had to work today, so, happy Veterans Day to all those who served and who got the day off.
Yes, and in Canada, it's Remembrance Day, kind of a combination of Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And rounding out our panel tonight, my old academy classmate, a community youth worker by day and a breakdancer by legacy. Whether it's spinning the linoleum or breaking down the Federation ethics, he brings the rhythm, insight, and heart to every conversation. A lifelong sci fan with a soft spot for gritty realism and Trek diplomacy, he's stepping into the bridge with style. He is not Jaden, but he is a nice man. It's Marcelino Frostflow DaCosta.
Hello, peace. Thanks for having me on. It's been a minute, and nice to meet y'all.
Welcome, Marcel. Yes.
I didn't know we were crossing borders here, Dave.
Yes, borders back and forth. Two nations' capitals here.
Two nations' capitals. Look at that.
Borders and quadrants.
Borders
all day, every day.
Borders and quadrants. And this is a live stream here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. You might be listening to us in audio version. And yeah, we were reviewing the Vengeance Factor. This is the 57th episode overall of Star Trek The Next Generation that aired on November 20th, 1989. Written by Sam Rolfe and directed by Timothy Bond, not James Bond.
His less successful brother.
Justice for Yuta, says Norman. Well, we're going to get into that. Let's get everyone's reactions. I want to start with Adam. Adam, how was this rewatch for you? Is it any better than The Price?
Oh yes. Yeah. I had to remember that tragic episode. No, this was really good. This is one of the better. I had look, I don't know why. There's some episodes I just never went back and rewatched. This was one of them. So seeing this one was actually a treat. I quite enjoyed it. I thought I don't remember her title, but the not the Acamarian, the other one, the negotiator. She was really great. Yuta was awesome, and the Acamarians were just hilarious.
Yes, some big guest stars in this episode. As I mentioned, Lisa Wilcox from MILF Manor plays Yuta. But
I don't think you just keep saying that. I don't think there's a selling point for her.
No, it's not helping. Well, I didn't make her go on MILF Manor. It's like
I'm gonna find if she did anything else because
yeah, I think she did other things, but she was looking for a career revival here. Let's go over to Shaggy. Shaggy, MILF Manor. Everyone's going for it here in the comments. Shaggy, how was this episode for you? Did you enjoy the rewatch?
This was everything right about Star Trek. If I could always say, Star Trek always does murder mysteries and whodunit really well. This is just another classic example of just a really great episode. I had to laugh because I just watched this episode before hopping on, and my dad and we were talking, and I went, "Man, the Gatherers look like they're all from an '80s hair metal band." And
it's so true.
And God, I can't think of her name right now, but she looks like Discount Kai Wen. It's
it's Nancy Parsons
great.
Playing Maruk, the sovereign of Akamar 3. Yes. What else did she do? She was in Porky's. Maybe you've seen that.
She was the female gym teacher.
Yeah, Beulah.
She's the she's the
Beulah,
one that grabbed
Beulah Ballwhacker.
The tallywhacker, remember? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So she's
Tallywhacker.
from that to this. And Marcel, I remember when we were in college, we all, like, our class had to elect who got to meet the sovereign of Canada, Queen Elizabeth II at the time, and you were the man selected from our group to go. And the sovereign of Akamar is featured in this episode. I couldn't help but think of the connection there. How did you enjoy this episode?
It was definitely nostalgic. I think it was an interesting follow-up to the previous, where Deanna was getting in a hot seat with an alternate partner, and then this time you have Will, so it's pretty wild. I honestly, in my opinion, I think it actually could have been a 2-part episode. I think it actually could have extended and unpacked a lot more about the conflict and built that relationship with Will and Yuta longer, so it didn't feel so condensed and very superficial. I think if it was more entangled, if you will, it could have made more emotional kind of depth, and maybe not that much of a rush to just vaporize her in the end. You know what I mean? But overall, I thought it was interesting. It was cool. They threw kind of data, little moments to just kind of have some comic relief. Bro was pretty fascinated with Wesley. I think that could have been unpacked a little bit more too. The fact that Wesley was sort of reminding him of his son. So stuff like that, I think, was really fresh. Of course, Dr. Crusher being a detective, she's wearing all the hats. So, and one more thing, to me, I was paying attention to Picard and how the whole time he's not wanting to be there at all, He's
He's like, in 3 weeks, I'm not going to be anywhere near here. He says, I am not dealing with this. He did not want a 2-parter. He just was like, this is a single episode, and I'm gone. I'm moving on to something else.
I left the iron on. I gotta go. Starbase.
Yeah, the gatherers. Have you ever seen that movie Adventures in Babysitting?
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
And there's that scene on the train where the two gangs confront Elizabeth Shue and Anthony Rapp on the train there, and they're like, "Don't fuck with the lords of hell," and then Elizabeth Shue just picks up the next. She goes, "Don't fuck with the babysitter." So I was definitely getting those types.
Before you move on here, so what's her name? Lisa Wilcox. She was a definite scream queen. Listen to these titles: Clown Motel, 3 Ways to Hell, Blood on the Bleachers, Into the Gravel Pit, The House That Eats Flesh, Don't Suck, Wood's Witch, Teddy Told Me To, and on and on and on. She is.
What's Don't Suck about?
I'll get you the. It's actually given a 4.1.
Anti-porn.
Yeah, well,
A veteran's comedian's last chance at stardom takes him on the road with a young comic who reveals an unexpected past.
wow. I gotta check it out now. Like, and I have to watch because I remember Kevin, a frequent podcast guest here, telling me about the show MILF Manor. And he was like, it's so disturbing because he likes these trashy reality shows, but it's like, it's so gross. The MILFs come and they bring all their sons, and then all the sons are banging the other MILFs, and then it's like chaos. And I was like, I have to see it now that I know that this woman is in the show.
So there's a couple other films that are in post production right now. And here's the title: How to Kill Your Family on Christmas, Skate to Hell.
Wow.
Werewolf in a Tank. She has got a genre going on.
Yes. Heather saying the babysitter's more threatening than the gatherers with their bedazzled jackets. And wait, are we covering the TNG port episode? Not sure about that one. But anyway, not at this time. Yeah, like, okay, the only thing my big takeaway from this episode was that I wish they don't reveal that Yuta is like this murderer. Like, because the guy dies on the planet, and so at that point we know more than like the audience knows, or I guess the audience, Riker knows, and like Crusher. So the mystery of it all is kind of not so it's not quite the reveal like when we see her face appear. And the other thing too was that like Yuta had to touch him, right, to infect him and kill him. And so Riker has to vaporize her, but couldn't he have like just like, I don't know, tackled her or something? Like, was it necessary to murder her or kill her?
I don't think. What if Riker didn't know if he could have been killed?
Well, he knew that this virus could only attack like 1 in a million Acamarians, and it would probably not affect humans at all. But he doesn't know how it's transmitted exactly. Like the only thing we knew for sure is that because she touches that other guy on the planet, and then he gets infected and he dies, right? Yeah. And so he doesn't know the specifics, but she keeps trying to go at him, and he keeps dialing up the phaser settings until it's finally on vaporize. And then he's like, don't do it. I'm going to vaporize you. And she's like, I can't, I have to fulfill my century-long mission of avenging the blood feud. So it was
3 times the charm.
3 times the charm.
Honestly, I thought about that, and I considered that perhaps maybe it was even like Starfleet protocol to some degree, because he gave her like 3 chances, and he knew that what she was doing was lethal in that moment. So it's kind of like, and he's trying to do things by the book in that moment. I considered that, but great point, man. They really gave away that whole opportunity for like a mystery. And if it was a 2-part episode, it could have actually went even further, and the detective work between like Data, because Data was an MVP. He was kind of like, him and Crusher were like the hidden MVPs of that episode, because they're discovering everything and figuring it out, because Will was completely distracted, and she, in my opinion, she was a biatch. She was straight like doing that on purpose to kind of dupe him so that she can kind of get around him to get to her mission. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She admits to using the Sovereign. The Sovereign's like, did you just use me to get close to these people you couldn't get to? She's like, yep. Like, I don't like tasting your water and preparing your meals all that much, I guess. So and I guess the romance here with Riker and her is if you can call it that, it's pretty brief, but Riker, like Jonathan Frakes, is like, he's batting those eyes, he's putting on all the charm here, and she's playing like wounded bird, basically, like she's like, oh, I'm not allowed pleasure, like, and I have to run away, but so like I wish it was a little longer, maybe not a 2-parter, but I feel like there was more that they could have done. Oh, we lost Shaggy there, so. See if he's dropping back in here. Any other thoughts, Adam?
I do like the idea of a. I mean, look, we talk about this show being very episodic, and it is. And it, remember back then we also talked about how 26 episodes, weekly episodes was what they were doing, and there wasn't many two-parters. I can't even really. I mean, other than the big ones we know on.
We haven't had one yet, right? And like up to this point, like I think Best of Both Worlds is going to be the first two-parter.
It will be.
I guess other than Encounter at Farpoint, I guess that's the only other two-parter. But
right, but that just wasn't what they did, and it had to be tied up with a neat little bow in 40 minutes because we had the commercials to deal with, and so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like. So I was on Lucretia's with Czech a few weeks ago. We were talking about the idea of short treks, and the idea of short treks could have been just what you're talking about here is to clean up backstories, right? And they were started going, and I wish they would have done way more of this stuff because there's so many stories like this one where we could have learned the Acamarian. Why did they get in the fights, and why are they this way? And you could do that in 10 minutes. Yeah. So I wish they would have done more of those.
Yeah, that's a great point right there.
Shaggy's reporting computer crash. So we'll see if he's able to get back here. We have a comment here from Heather. She says, no one can risk when Space Daddy Riker turns on the charm, even when they're trying to fulfill a blood vendetta. That's right.
I prefer the company of equals.
That's right.
Well, thank God he said that, by the way, because it would be very creepy if he didn't.
Yes.
That's wild. Yeah, she was hitting all the check marks for him, because normally I see he's putting on the charm on purpose. It's his role, right? His first officer to kind of whatever. But gradually, as that conversation's going, he's starting to run game on her, and she's kind of like biting, and and every time she's biting, he's sort of like getting all caught up on, I guess, the concept of her role, right? Because he knows what his intention is, but I think it starts shifting. It's interesting to see how she's sort of shifting along with her intention as well and gets caught up in that. But yeah, I think that's a great idea, Adam. It'd be cool if there was like a short where you can see that a little bit more fleshed out. But I mean, the previous episode with Deanna, that was actually really fulfilling, so to speak, in regards to kind of
for who?
For the viewer. To see, Deanna's she's really into this dude. She's talking to Crusher about it. She's wrapped up. She's kind of disregarding her role. There's like a lot of scenes where you get to build up that whole relationship. And I think this one might have actually had a little bit more of that, even a couple more minutes of that. It would have been more satisfying for the viewer, in my opinion.
Riker, though, is often portrayed this way. It's as just a ladies' man and in going in for the kill. Like he is. He doesn't get that opportunity in the writing to build an emotional relationship versus a sexual relationship with people. I mean, you think of, and Dave, you'll know the title, the one where the Irish group was on board, and I mean that was all about
the lovely lady, the daughter. You're a delight to me, my daughter. And she's like, well, William Riker, you're a mess.
In the carpet bay.
Yeah, up the long ladder. Yes, Shaggy's working on coming back, so hopefully we'll see him again soon. Nice. We had a comment here from Norman,
but I will say this is that Deanna has the opportunity, like she has the definite emotional connection episodes where she builds relationship, and you do see it and feel it. Versus Riker, they don't do that with him. And it must be
Riker doesn't get as attached, I feel like, as maybe like Deanna does, or maybe Beverly does.
Well, I just don't think they give him the chance.
Yeah, except for that one episode with, I guess, the androgynous alien with that race.
That was like, I would say that was like he had the most like invested emotionally in that episode.
Yes, for sure. That one you feel bad for him at the end. You're like, shit.
Yeah, you got punked, feel bad for everybody in that one. Norman saying this race, the Acamarians, will be addressed again in Lower Decks if he remembers correctly in the start. I don't remember the Acamarians coming back specifically. I remember that there was that race that was being sold the drugs. Remember by the other race, in the first season, and then they came back to that planet, and then it showed everybody like that mural with everybody in withdrawal for like and then everyone was happy once they got past it. In the Outcast. And then as I was watching this too, I was like, the Acamarians could have also been like the Capellans, I thought, like that race we saw in the original series, Friday's Child, if you remember, with Julie Newmar, where she's pregnant and McCoy and they're all protecting her for the whole episode. I was like, I don't know. I feel like these races are very similar in terms of like their culture and the clans and the blood feuds and all this
Feudal
kind of
style.
stuff. But instead, they give us a whole new species and backstory here, which is fine too. Yeah. So with all that said, I think we can jump into our screenshots and our plot and break everything down we saw in the episode. And Shaggy will come back when he's able. So let's start off with our plot. Oh, speak of the devil. Shaggy has returned to the lobby.
He's back. He returns.
The Shagster returns, although he hasn't turned his camera on yet. But let's try this.
Teleporting back in a moment. Transported.
No. Well, he's trying to come.
Got some interference.
You got some interference. Okay. Well, I'm just hopefully
It's an anomaly.
I'll add him there and see what he's able to come. So we'll just jump through this. Okay, so we start at this ransacked Starbase outpost or whatever it is. As an away team here from the Enterprise D beams in. It's Riker, it's Crusher, Data, and Worf, all with their flashlights that Adam loves.
Stupid flashlights, not just flashlights.
Yeah, Adam does not like these flashlights, and who can blame him? They're not very practical. And they don't come like the tricorders and the phasers have holsters, but the flashlight has no holster.
That's true. You have to carry a box.
You just got to carry a box everywhere. Anyway, so they talk about how everything's been stripped down in the site. I think Data eventually is the one who maybe detects something, or he's checking out the door, and Crusher finds a blood sample there that's not human, which will be the clue leading us to the Acamarians. They mentioned it's a rare copper iron composite, because human blood has got iron in it, whereas Vulcan blood has copper in it, and this is kind of a combination. And the Acamarians are apparently unique in this this realm. So anyway, so Worf then is like, this door is jammed, I can't get it open. And then Data comes over.
Okay, just wait. He was using one hand because he had to hold the flashlight.
True.
And what's wild is like Worf in the beginning, if you see him, he's tossing everything like with ease, right? Like all this heavy stuff, just tossing it. So then you have like this degree, but the door, he can't handle it. Data's got to handle that.
If he has the Data hold the flashlight and then open the door.
Hold my beer, he said. Well, and we all know Worf's strong, but it's a kind of reminder that Data is even stronger.
Yeah, shows the gradient, the range.
And inside that door, they find two outpost scientists, not dead, but definitely injured. They have been, we'll be told that they've been stunned multiple times, which is a little bit savage. But they didn't kill them, so I guess, there's that. And that is our teaser for the episode as we head into the credits. So what's going on here? Starfleet's trying to figure out who attacked their outpost. As we head into after the credits, I get our title card, the Vengeance Factor. One of those said a scientist is on the biobed, Crusher treating them, and Crusher's like, they'll live, but they are messed up. They have been like, because you get hit with a phaser on stun, that's usually sufficient. You'll be out unconscious for a while, but the Acamarians apparently kept going. So they
bullies.
They test the blood sample. They figure out it's Acamarians, and then Picard looks to Data and Riker, setting up, could it be the Gatherers? And it seems to be the reasonable hypothesis, even though this is further out than the Gatherers usually come. It's a little outside of their territory traditionally, but they're expanding here. So this prompts Picard, set course for Acamar 3. We're gonna go find this out. And Picard comes to the planet, and we meet the Sovereign Maruk. Now, they explain this whole backstory, how there was this civil war on this planet, how there was all these different clans and they fought for generations. Some of this gets explained a little bit in the later scene too, but 100 years ago, roughly, a bunch of the factions left. The people who weren't part of, I guess, the cultural reformation, the awakening, the enlightenment that came later here for them. So they are now exiles, nomadic tribes, effectively, and so they're not welcomed here. And Picard is saying, well, those people are attacking our outpost and we don't like it. So maybe you can kind of do something about it. And, there's like, well, maybe offer them amnesty. It's been tried. How long ago? 18 years ago. And Picard's like, well, they're your people,
You're not trying hard enough. Yeah.
Right.
They're still your people.
They're still your people.
They're still your people.
And she's like, are they? And like, I guess like this, if there was like, I don't know, like I was trying to think like, does Acamar 3, does their government, are they responsible for these people or not? Just because they are the same species? Yes or no, right? Like, if you think about like humans, right? Like, if there was a group of humans doing bad things, would it be up to Earth to come and save it, like, and stop it, or are they, if they're not like Federation citizens or something like that?
Yeah. Certain point of view.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but we know that like traditionally Federation planets are only admitted to the Federation once like the entire world is united, right? Like they typically don't deal with species that have like these kind of fractures. So I also get the impression that maybe the Sovereign is willing to participate, willing to play ball here. Maybe to kind of, because maybe she wants Acamar to join the Federation one day. And so this would go a long way towards that. Anyway, so they decide they're going to enlist her help to try to come to peace, try to make some kind of a thing here. And and Picard's like, you can come with us. Our ship's really fast and we can get around. And so that's how she's like, okay, like maybe, they take her to the bridge. She says, I'll need 2 more servants. This is what will eventually bring Yuta to the ship. And Riker is charged with like kind of showing her to her quarters and everything else. He's back.
They said kick the American out.
Yeah, sorry. Couldn't help it.
No. You're welcome to come and talk to us anytime you want.
Get back. He's back.
I forgot he was American. Anyway, Data opened the jar of pickles in this series.
That's right. Totally one-handed. That's
a Orville reference. Anyway, so they set a course for the planet, like I think they call it the Hiromi cluster. This area where they think that the gatherers might be. Like there's some planets there that they might be hiding on. So that's where the Enterprise is heading. As Riker shows the Sovereign to her quarters, and they see the ship go to warp. They give her a nice primo view here as they head to warp.
I really like this scene. Into warp. We don't see this too often. This is pretty cool.
It's right. Neat, yeah. Looks good. And she says, a fine ship, Commander. Love it. So she's having a great time. Then we see Yuta. This is her first introduction on screen here in the quarters. She wants a light meal. And so she asked Riker for a kitchen. He's like, I can give you a kitchen, but you really don't need one. I got something for you. It's a replicator. And what would you like, Sovereign? Water. You can make anything. It can make anything you'd ever want.
5 degrees. 5 degrees.
5 degrees Celsius.
Celsius. Yes.
Celsius.
Had to have that clarified for me tonight.
Yes, 5 degrees Fahrenheit would be frozen, right? So
yes.
That's
right. Anyway, so they she's also like the taster here. We meet Yuta, very formal, she's got this collar thing. Anyway, so they make the water 5 degrees Celsius, and she's tasted. One of her jobs is to make sure there's no poison, I suppose, for the Sovereign. And she gives it to her here, presents her the water.
And Will's kind of bugging out at this point. He's like, "Wait a minute,
no one gets me water. Am I supposed to do this for Captain Picard?"
Right? Yeah, he's starting to realize that something's kind of awkward about her role, and he's getting kind of perplexed a bit.
Yeah, and he's also, he's like, I'm totally flirting with you. This is great. I had to watch Troy have her romance last week. Now it's my turn, and let's go to town. So, but I don't know. Like Yuta's always so like serious, right? And Riker's constantly trying to like break through the ice.
It's a challenge for him, the stoicism, right? But it's kind of like when he cracks the stoicism, he starts. It would be arguably like he kind of loses his interest after he cracks the stoicism.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, but right now he's like, you're a
smitten.
challenge.
It's about the
that's-
conquest.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's intrigued by her, and they kind of hit it off here. He eventually, leaves after he's like, well, a technician will come and program this thing. Oh, and he wants to sample her food. The whatever, I can't remember the dish's name, but
Her
it's like,
food.
her food. I love
Her
Yuta,
food.
and he makes like an
Yuta.
accent and everything else.
Smooth talker.
Smooth talker, Mr. Riker.
It's a sample her food.
Yeah.
Bet he does.
Oh yes. Where is
I look forward to tasting it.
Yeah, you bet you do. So they arrive at the planet, one of the M-class planets in the Hiromi cluster, where they think there could be Acamarians. Data, he's like, I'm detecting combustion and whatever. And
Campfires.
Wesley goes, campfires? I believe that is what I said. Yes. As they head down with their away team, it's Riker, Data, Geordi, and Worf are going to be on this away team as they beam down to the camp of the Gatherers, which is kind of like a bit
Mad Max.
Yeah, it's a bit Mad Max.
It looks like Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yeah, they got the.
It looks like a lot of those '80s kind of movies that had
Straight
this
up.
weird.
Yeah, you got like these like trusses like everywhere, and I don't know, like it's like.
Hey Dave, can you go back to the actual planet? Like it's rare. This is like a heather planet. We don't see too many purple planets.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I guess they're on the night side, but it seems like it's not like that a terrible planet. But they don't want to live there either. They apparently like the idea of going to Acamar is going to be much more appealing. Anyway, so they're going around here, Mad Max camp. They don't see any of the gatherers right away. They're kind of making their way through this jungle gym of trusses and metal beams and some rocks.
I think they just went to a soundstage and just said, "We're going to take all this stuff and make it a separate."
Yeah. Every piece of junk you have backstage, bring it out and throw it on there, which is kind of what they did. They even find some of this metal alloy, which isn't very valuable, but they're like the gatherers have kind of, they salvage everything. They steal. They're not too discriminatory about what they
gather.
They gather.
Whoa.
They do this thing. Yeah. I'm curious. There was some reference by Geordi, like the Artonian lasers or like the Taconian homing beacons. Have we heard this?
No, I can't remember that term coming up.
Curious about that. I always thought about that. I'm like,
they even find some of the Federation tech, presumably that was stolen from that outpost. I think here, and so they're making their way around, and then Mr. Worf, he spots with the corner out of his eye some these Acamarians with their not too powerful lasers, but powerful enough to kill you.
They got purple phasers or lasers too.
Yeah, purple sky, purple lasers.
Phaser light, LITE.
As they're ambushed here, sort of from above, and they're pinned down behind some metal trusses and things like that. As Worf's one hand phaser is presumably stronger, but they have the high ground, as in Star Wars terms, So they're getting shot at here. The fights go. Riker's like, "We're here to talk. Stop trying to kill us."
Worf's like, "Your words are wasted, Commander."
Oh yeah, Worf's like, "Yes,
you came to talk.
Your words are wasted, Commander. They understand only this.
We're here to establish a dialogue, Worf.
Put the phaser away, you trigger-happy Klingon, and let's figure this out." So he asks Data, what temperature does that alloy vaporize at, or and he's like 2,000 degrees.
Yeah. So this is so true. I think you just played a bit of it.
Absolutely.
It is something else. Like you got synths going on. It is so 80s. Like,
this is 89. It's still 89. So this is the it's right in that area here. So, but it was kind of smart. Okay, we're gonna like hit this pile of metal with the phasers, and then we're gonna turn it into a gas, and that's gonna obscure things. So we can and then say, okay, beam us out, and they're like, "You cowards, you're coming around here," as they think that they're gone. But
I'm surprised actually that Will came up with that. You would think that Geordi or Data would have come up with that, because Riker's not so much of a techie guy. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe a little more techie. Yeah, but it was a good play. It was a good move.
It was a great play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Worf were kind of like that's the first time you don't see Worf get his ass handed to him right off the jump. So he's like feeling hype, like
Yeah.
let's continue
Exactly.
fighting.
Worf just had to lay down some cover fire there where they did that. And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh no, they're trying to burn our precious, worthless metal. But then, Worf shows up here,
Your ambushes would be more successful if you bathed more often.
What if you're getting insulted about your smell, your body odor from Worf, who is known to have a earthy, peaty aroma with a touch of lilac.
Lilac.
Then something's up. These Acamarians, but they're surrounded by the away team. They're like, hey, we bring amnesty here from Sovereign Maruk, and like they think this is hilarious. They're like, the Queen's here, amazing, hilarious, So we have a time jump. We go to the next scene, and they're pouring some water here for Maruk down here at the camp, which of course Yuta is testing. And they say, how do we know you're not poisoning it right away here, Maruk? And this one gatherer guy, he pours the one of the beverages down the guy's throat.
Can you go back, please? One?
Yep.
So I think one of these guys in the back here on the right is his name is Michael Lampor, who is Marina Sirtis's husband.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it's this guy actually right here between these two. Yeah.
Wow.
He passed away a few years ago, I believe.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. During pandemic.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So they're all laughing while and we're getting a sense of these gatherers that they're kind of. I think she calls them barbarians, but they're kind of like just bikers, is what they're kind of. That's how they feel. Yeah, like they're kind of like 1% biker guys or whatever.
With the high school insults.
Yeah, exactly.
100 years ago.
You haven't changed in 100 years. They're like, you should know. You were there.
But the delivery was so funny.
Yeah,
that thing made me laugh. Still.
Yeah, so they're not hitting it off right away, but the gatherers are also this leader of the gatherers. I think his name is Balls. What is it?
Brawl.
Yeah.
Brawl. He'll end up with the one who ends up coming aboard the Enterprise with them,
Bro.
and
Bro.
He's pretending like he doesn't care, but he's kind of intrigued by this offer. The gatherers, they're not living like luxurious lives. That they have to steal and take things, and they're kind of scavenging for resources. So, the idea of something more stable is maybe appealing to them, at least to Brawl. So he asks everyone to leave. He just wants Picard and Maruk to stay. I guess I'm skipping ahead here. More shots here, but yeah. So then they send away, and I think it's someone says, yeah, like he doesn't want all the Acamarians to hear him, take her seriously, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, while that's happening, we got Yuta here who chases down one of these gatherers. One we didn't even see on screen before. Like this is kind of his first appearance. He wears a funny hat or whatever, and he's kind of like, it's weird that this woman's kind of following me around, but what of it?
His name is Lolna.
Lolna, yeah. So he's just kind of chilling over here. He's I don't know how old he actually is, but he's meant to be. We're told he's like an old man. He's seen some stuff. And then Yuta's just like, hey, and he's like, I've seen you before when I was like a kid, but how could that be? That doesn't make sense, right? That's like she's like, oh yeah, you've seen me before, and I'll be the last thing you ever see. Because did she say she's from the clan Treleste here? Maybe
that's right. She does. She reveals it to him before she kills him. And doesn't he look like the guy from the knight from Last Crusade? Probably isn't, but he reminded me of him.
He chose poorly.
Poorly.
Yeah.
Actually, he might be.
Right?
Isn't
it him? It looks like him.
It might be. Yeah. Who knows?
He goes in those roles.
It's a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
It's around this time they were making that movie and this episode.
It's the same year, actually.
He was actually in Deep Space Nine as Mr. Zemo.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. But he wasn't in Last Crusade.
I'm looking here. Give me a second.
Now, what I don't understand is, like, literally, Deanna was just like, okay, he wants to be alone because he doesn't want to be embarrassed by all the guys. But I'm surprised that she didn't pick up on this happening.
Yeah, like she can't detect Yuta's emotions or intents.
Mm,
That's
there's
that-
a limited
This is-
range of her power.
They pick
Probably.
and choose Deanna's power when they want to use it.
Very,
Yeah,
very much
yeah.
so.
yeah. It
Sometimes
sometimes
it
works.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes she can read Ferengi, sometimes she can't. Like it's all kind of, even in the same season.
Sometimes you can read like planets away.
Yeah. Sometimes
It might be like juggling.
sometimes across a view screen, sometimes not. It's inconsistent, but that's not
6'7".
yeah. Anyway, so what's his name? Lolna here. He goes down. He's been killed here by Yuta, given a heart attack, and we get to see Yuta's maybe not all she seemed to be before. She seems to be on some other kind of mission. As this guy is dead.
He chose poorly.
He chose poorly. Meanwhile, like we see, what's his name? Brol, right?
Bro.
Yeah.
What up,
Brol.
Yeah,
Brol's
bro.
kind of talking things over here, and he's like, Brol's like, I'm not even the main leader. Like the main leader is this other guy. We need to go see him, but how do I know? Like, at first, like, this is where Brol's like, I'm gonna go talk to him, and then I'll come back in like 20 days. And Picard's like, I'm not waiting 20 days for this. Like, let's get real. This is not happening. We'll take you wherever you want to go.
This is sort of a departure from Picard because he's so accommodating with everything except role.
Well, it's interesting because he's like, he clearly wants to broker this peace, but on the other hand, like Picard and Riker and like the other Starfleet officers clearly have a lot of disdain for these gatherers. Do not like them personality wise here. You're gonna see in a second here when they go to like scavenge the guy's belongings from his body, and Riker just grabs them out of the way, and not being too respectful of their cultural practices.
No,
I would say
the whole time Picard is like that. Actually, like the whole episode, even when he's on the ship, if you notice, every time he's having conversation with somebody will kind of like almost interrupt, and he just kind of like dismisses them a certain way. It's as if like he had something he had to do really bad towards the end of the episode, and it's just like nobody knows what that is. So his whole focus is completely like, I want to go to Risa or something like that. He's just like on a different flex, Which I thought was hilarious.
Well, he's like these gatherers are so beneath me, but he'd much rather deal with Maruk, but he does see the benefit of trying to broker this. So just as Brol's like saying, okay, if I'm not back in 10 days, blah blah blah, then they hear like the call that there's this guy who's dead. So they rush all over to find Lolna here. And Brol's like, I don't know, he was old. He probably just died. He's not too concerned with like how did he die? Who could killed him here? He's like, and he's like, well, maybe our doctor can help. He's like, no.
Why?
Yeah, why? Like,
Why?
anyway. So this guy is like, hey, who tells us he's from the clan? What was the clan's name? This clan that is it Chorgan?
Chorgan. I
I
missed that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like the name of this clan. Anyway, and so he's like, well, no, there's nobody else from this clan here, so I want to claim his things. And he's like, yeah, okay, granted, you can have it. So he starts like taking off his boots, which Maruk finds. I don't think all Acamarians do this. This seems to be a gatherer specific practice. Scavenging, yeah. And Dr. Crusher comes down just in case to see if she can save him.
She certainly took her sweet time getting down for a medical emergency.
Yeah, like I've seen worse. So she gets down here, and then this is where Riker grabs that guy. He's like, "Get the hell out of here!
That was not funny, man.
Parasite."
Hate.
And then Worf holding the phaser room. You can't rush Blazing Bev. Yeah.
Yeah. Detective DC, Detective Crusher.
Yeah, she's like, well, he died of a heart attack, but it makes no sense because his heart's strong. So this is kind of strange. So she's like, I'd like to maybe look into this. The mystery is starting to build here, but we didn't know that he didn't die of natural causes. We just saw how he died play out. So we're gonna see that unfold as Riker is left a little bit unsettled by what did we just witness. But regardless, they're planning to take Brol and Maruk to go see this other leader guy. So on the bridge, Brol is making it, and it's like the criminal man has made it onto our bridge, you know?
No words. He just points at him.
He's like, over there. Basically, he wants him to show Wesley Crusher the way. He's like, you let a kid drive the ship, you know? And he's always making these jokes.
Very
He loves
excellent point.
Wesley. He loves Wesley.
Yeah.
Right off
Oh,
the
he's kind
jump.
of not wrong. Like, you know,
Just this look here from Picard to Brol. It's just like
You
but
have
it
no
inspires
idea.
confidence. You know, that inspires my confidence. Who cares about his confidence, man?
Yeah.
It's wild
Picard's
because remember how Picard was when Wesley first got on there,
yeah.
after what they've been through. He's just like, why are you trying to punk this kid who I respect?
Exactly. And so then Brol's like, I guess that joke didn't land. Okay. Anyway, so Brol's like, okay, kid, let's fly through this asteroid belt. And he was like, he's like, you're afraid of hitting some rocks? You know?
So that this scene was funny to me because he's like looking over and he's like studying and he's moving around. Like the panel's only 3 feet wide, you know, you can see it pretty well. But he's like up and down like a bird, you know, trying to get that perspective.
Yeah, some interesting physical acting here from this actor. Definitely. Anyway, he's like, I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. I'm just, you know, rattling your cage or whatever. Just look here from Wesley. He's like,
bad touch.
I don't like this touching from Brol. Anyway,
he's just like, you're my son.
Wesley's like, well, if we just navigate here and we can avoid the asteroid belt and we can be there like 12 minutes later. Like it seems okay, you know. He's like, fine if you're, you know, a wimp. All right, whatever, kid. That's the way we would go. So then we head to 10 forward sometime later where we have Picard. He's having I'm not sure if he's having a meal or just a drink here with Maruk. Yuta is present, but they're talking about the history of her planet again, the blood feuds that went on for generations and how it would never let go and the cycle of violence. And Picard in turn talks about, well, it's not that different than the history of my own planet, you know, and there's a lot of parallels to draw there. You know, so giving us more of the sense of like what is going to be motivating Yuta as she's on this blood feud. She's trying to avenge the final blood feud of the Trellests. Anyway, so
I was actually really focused on, I don't know why, but everyone in the background was actually capturing my attention quite a bit. Like the Viet guy in the back with his outfit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
yeah.
How Deanna goes to just chill with somebody else. And then there's one homegirl who just vibing by herself, and I was just, wow. For some reason, it kept getting kind of drawn, or what he's doing. Yeah,
and then Brol comes in and he takes like a drink from somebody. Doesn't order his own drink. He gathers it. You know, he gathers it. Even though the waiter would have got him his own drink, he's like, "No, I want this guy's drink." You know, that's how.
I wonder what Guinan would have done.
Yeah,
we got Guinan there. Yeah?
She would just call him rude.
Yeah,
she would have dropped some one-liners on him.
She'd be like, throw him out of the bar. We see Brol gets his. It looks like he's drinking grapefruit juice, but I don't know.
Right. Pink lemonade.
It's pink.
He scopes out Wesley here, who's doing his math homework apparently up here in 10 forward.
Look at the server behind him when he's doing this. Go back again.
He's like, "What a jerk! He stole your grapefruit juice."
What an asshole!
Yeah.
No, I'll get you another one.
So as Wesley's working on his math homework or whatever it is here, Brol just comes up and takes the pad from him. He goes, "What's this stupid crap? Like, what are you doing here?" Puts his feet up and he's just like, it looks dumb. You know, why do you bother with that kid? And
are you good?
Wesley can't believe it. But there's something interesting here. He's like, well, he's like, if everything's stupid, then why are you helping? Like, why are you working with Maruk? You know, like if you think like everything's stupid and you're over this and blah blah blah, like why are you doing it? And Brol's like, hey, I got kids. Maybe I want something better for myself. Maybe I want a better life, you know. And Wesley's like, you got kids? He's like, yeah, man, I got two. And so that seems to change everything in terms of how Wesley views him. You know, he's like,
yes.
Well, if he's got a family and he's not just this selfish prick, maybe there's more to him than I thought. You know,
absolutely.
Judgmental ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I would argue that he was doing. That's probably how they communicate down where he is with all the other guys. You see how they behave with each other, right? And like right off the jump, he's like, in his own way, he's being endearing and affectionate to Will Wheaton. You know what I'm saying?
Will Wheaton,
Wesley, to Wesley Crusher. You know what I'm saying? So his form of communication is actually his version of like being endearing and being actually cool with him, just to kind of tease him a little bit.
I think he's not just trying to torment Wesley. He's actually trying to connect with him here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And anyway, so Brol and Wesley starting to get along here. As we pivot away from them, and now it's Yuta has made her dish for Will, and Deanna's here as well. And she's like, let's taste this. It's not chocolate, but Deanna Troy approves. And
it's not chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know if if that face says she likes it or not, but Riker does anyway. So like, hey, why don't you join us? And there's only 2 seats, and this is where Deanna's like, okay, I'm out of here.
I'll
like, bye.
Hint.
What a great wingman! Just read the room perfectly.
Yeah. Consider that these two one day get married. It's kind of an interesting dynamic here.
Yeah, they're great friends.
They're great friends.
More than friends.
Like, my wife was my wingman for many years. Helped me get laid so many times. Deanna does some A+ wingman here. Work here for the G. Get the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really,
give each other space.
You think about last week's episode again, though. Like Riker also told the Matt McCoy character that he just wants her happy. So there's definitely a different relationship.
Like it's much better. Like remember that first season episode where her fiance showed up, and he was like so jealous for the whole episode, and it wasn't a good look on Riker. This dynamic is working so much better for both of them.
Character development there. You could see like the whole series are just navigating what they mean to each other. So it's ultimately like very beautiful by the end, where you see, okay, finally I'll see the truth. Y'all should be together in the first place.
Was Jane actually Dave's wingman? Well, I have to ask Jane that. I don't think so. Well, she helped me.
I cannot understand that would not be a thing.
No.
Yeah, it's not. It's very unusual. It's very specific to their complexity of the relationship.
Yeah, they're on again, off again thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Riker's like, "Why don't you have some of the food?" And and then they talk about Maruk. Like, she explains that she's not a slave to Maruk. She's just like a servant. She can leave whenever she wants, but she's not used to being asked how she feels, what she wants to do. She's more of like, she's all about duty and purpose. Like, that's her purpose, right? And she's I never let myself feel. Riker's like, oh yeah,
delicious.
I'm going. I get it. He's intrigued by the challenge of her. He's like, I'm going to show you so many things.
Let's take a walk in the arboretum.
Yeah, let's go for more food.
Let's visit the holodeck.
Right.
She's looking like Kylie Minogue there, actually.
Yeah,
a little bit. She resembles.
He's like, I heard you were on MILF Manor. Is that right? Anyway,
you heard me.
Yeah. She also tells Commander Riker, you would make a terrible sovereign. You don't like being like around subordinates, even though he's the second in command of the ship. So it's kind of a contradiction. But anyway, she makes her way back to the sovereign, and Riker, she kind of excuses herself and gets all self-conscious, and she's not sure what to do with some of these feelings she's getting from Will. So she scurries away. Then Riker gets called by Dr. Crusher. And she calls him to sick bay, and he's like, "You're scowling, doctor." What? No, I'm just thinking. I did pull that.
Dr. C.
Yeah.
You're scowling, doctor.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. She's like, this guy did not die of a natural heart attack. He was infected with some kind of a virus, and it was way too specific. She shows us that they would only affect 1 in a million Acamarians. Like it can't be a naturally occurring virus. So that means that this guy was murdered. Dun 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 dun
Dun, dun, dun.
There it is.
Yeah, and so now then things just got a little bit more complicated. But there'd only be so many suspects, right? So it's possible that he was killed by just one of the other gatherers over something completely unrelated to all of this. But there's a lot of suspicion now flying around.
Yeah, I think so. They originally probably thought off the jump that maybe this is just their way, is punk each other if they need to,
and steal their boots afterwards.
Yeah, cyborg style.
Right. So Riker's got that in the back of his mind while the Enterprise is making its way. Riker's like, I'm finally gonna get some rest. I'm finally gonna get some relaxation. Data's talking to him on the thing. He's like, yeah, we're downloading like the database and everything else and getting. He's like, good. Just call me when it's done. Like, when let Dr. Crusher know when the medical stuff is ready.
It's kind of like Deanna in the episode prior. She had the same kind of thing, right? She's just like, oh my god, I'm still done. Like, who's bugging me right now?
Yeah.
So God forbid I should miss my first look at the wormhole.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of furniture is this?
Swedish.
It's not good for his neck, I don't think. Anyway, so just as he's ready to like get him unwind here, lay back, and maybe even have a nap. Again, his neck might get injured here, but then somebody at the door, and it is Yuta. And Riker stands right up. He's right at attention. Yeah.
Buttocks shot one.
Oh yeah.
Computer, play some Barry White, please.
The door is closed, and she goes. The Sovereign thought that I might, be able to. Like I suggested that I could maybe keep you company. She doesn't need me in there. And he's like,
what a charming suggestion.
A charming suggestion. Come here, love. And they're smooching. They're getting into it. And she's all being like Miss Pleasure Princess or whatever. She's like, I'm just here for pleasure to you. And Riker's like, no, I don't. This is not what I want. I don't want you. Like, I'm not into this submissive stuff, whatever this is. Like so,
trying to whore herself.
Yeah, he's
like not feeling that.
He's not feeling that. Exactly.
I'll leave the black leather and whips back at my quarters.
Yeah. And she goes, it's been so long since I could feel. He's like, I don't know who did this to you, but I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna show you. Come on. And she's definitely got trauma. She's everything she's saying here. But she tries to come away, and Riker pulls her back. He's like, "I'll just give you a hug." Like you just need some hugging right now. And then the red alert, and Riker is just walks away here without
red light special,
without saying anything to her. Yeah, the red light special.
Nah, she's playing him. She's playing him the whole time, but you could tell that she's sort of like conflicted at the fact that she's playing him.
Yeah, she's like, maybe I don't have to be a murderer anymore. Maybe I can run away here with Will Riker.
Yeah.
Will Riker has no intention of running away with her. He is like in it for the
no, he's here for a good time, not a long time, I would say.
That's exactly right. Good old trooper.
The way he wants it.
Exactly. Anyway, so then up on the bridge, we have found that gatherer leader guy, his ship. He's attacking the Enterprise.
Meatloaf.
Yeah. This alien ship, we see. I'm sure this is going to come up in fun facts. We see this alien ship all the time.
It's coming up.
They slightly redress it all the time for different species. I'm pretty sure it was like the Packlet ship before. Anyway, so they're firing their not so strong purple lasers at them. Yeah, purple power.
Look, Heather's got lasers too. Purple lasers.
Yeah,
Heather does.
Like everything purple's Heather. I just see it.
Yeah, everything. The purple Heather. Anyway, so Picard is just annoyed by this whole thing. He's just
annoyed this whole episode, Dave.
Yeah,
he's like, it's not over yet.
He's like, are we done? Anyway, so he's like,
the gatherers are like the antithesis of Picard. Like, you cannot stand this behavior of them.
Yeah,
usually he would just throw them off the ship. There's no way that he would put up with this.
Yeah, but he also doesn't like his outpost scientists getting attacked, so he wants to put an end to that. So they're getting shaken around here, and he's like, Worf, like, I don't know, just hit them hard enough to screw them up. And then we see them they basically overload their shield generator because the Enterprise is a much more powerful ship. Good job, Lieutenant. All right, and now they're hailing us. And we meet this leader. This leader is called Chorgon. Stephen Lee plays this guy. Stephen Lee, he was in a whole bunch of stuff. He was in RoboCop 2.
Of course.
He was,
Wow, RoboCop 2, Nuke. Wow.
He was in what else has he been in? A lot of TV. A lot like he did everything from The West Wing to NCIS to Black Babylon 5 even. So he's been around. Anyway, I thought he was pretty good in this. He calls that guy the what's his name? Bro. He calls Bro the traitor.
What up, bro?
Hey, what's up, bro? And
Meatloaf
we're
in
just
the
here to
house.
talk. We're just here to talk. We got the sovereign. She's offering you amnesty. And so
And they thought it was hilarious too. Everybody laughs at that.
yeah, he's like, what? Like this is so dumb. But they're like, why don't you listen to us? Or we can just, we can keep firing on each other here. So
do anything for love, that guy.
So Picard says Picard's like, I'm gonna go over, and Riker's like, what? Like, Riker and Troy do not like this idea. And I agree. Like this was kind of
That's a heat score.
risky. And Picard's like, he's probably not gonna kill me while I'm over there. He could easily take you hostage.
The Packwood's got, took Geordi.
They took Geordi hostage, and it wasn't like they were all powerful,
They were dumb.
Yeah, right. They were slow. Anyway, so Picard heads over. They beam over with Maruk and everyone else, and we get they deal here with what's his name? Vault Chorgon, right? So anyway, sit down. But this Chorgon guy, he's very much like the other Acamarians. He's just kind of, he's rough around the edges, let's say. But very skeptical of this whole thing. And Picard's, I guess, the mediator. He's here to negotiate. I like to get on. We have to wrap this up in the next 20 minutes, guys. So let's get this going. They start this tense negotiation. Broll here tries to interject. He does not get. Broll's kind of done at this point. Broll has no other agency.
Definitely character development, bro.
Yeah,
compared to the beginning.
And we see here that like Maruk offers them, like, we've set aside some land for you on the planet. You can come home to the planet. Land. Do you think we're farmers? Like, come on. And there's also this part here where he's offered a drink, and Yuta comes over to offer the drink, but he like turns her away. But this was her chance to get him. And she
true. Wow.
Yeah. But she was looking for plausible deniability, maybe, to get out of there. So even though he's like the last guy that she needs to get. So anyway, this is what they're laughing about. We're not a bunch of farmers. Like, come on. She's like, do whatever the hell you want with the land. It doesn't matter. Like, you can set up an outhouse or whatever tickles your fancy.
But then he sort of realizes that she's serious. Okay, I'm going to negotiate now.
Yeah, because I guess to rejoin Acamarian society and to have something like that's appealing to him and his people on some level. After 100 years being this nomadic gatherer scavenger group. Anyway, we head back to the Enterprise where Riker is trying to solve this mystery. How did that guy die? What's going on? Let's look at Crusher's got the medical knowledge here, and they're all going to work together here at this science station to figure it out. Looking at old records, how other people have died of this virus, cardiac arrest.
This would have been a fun episode if they took Data and made him like have to work with the gatherers or something, and get behaviors and understand them. That would be a fun episode.
That would be fun. He brings it back to the ship, and they're like, Data, don't do that.
Don't behave like this. Puts his legs up on the desks.
We also find out that the members of this clan, or the victims of these murders by this virus, have all been from the same group, same blood clan. And that they had wiped out this other group called the Trellests, like 100 years prior. Like so they're looking into all that. They can't find any kind of identification for who there might be out there. And basically, I'm yada yada in this, but they kind of figure out that the last victim, like Data's one. Plinthar Mall, yeah. And Data's the one who he's able to look at this image apparently, and he already knows it's Yuta.
Yeah.
He can already do what the computer is about to do.
The AI.
Like, with the AI, exactly. Yeah, he's the real AI.
He's a real AI in the house.
Yeah, he's looking at this, and we
Enhance.
see enhance.
Zoom in and enhance.
Enhance. Like you can see he's like the computer can extrapolate the rest. I'm like, so can I. I can see most of her face, but amazing there. And it's revealed to be Lisa Wilcox from MILF Manor. She is the one who did it. 50. But that photograph was taken 50 years ago.
Look at Beverly's face. What?
What? I need to know her secrets now.
Maybe it was Maybelline.
Yeah. And Riker's okay. Riker's kind of figuring this whole thing out.
Will's pissed.
He's pissed.
He's pissed.
We got to jump here, and there's this kind of these final negotiations happening here with Maruk and I keep forgetting his name. Chorgon. Anyway, he wants like 3 seats on the ruling council, and she's like, no one has 3 seats. Unheard of, and all these kinds of things.
Well,
and
I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. And they start insulting each other and yelling at each other. And
you see how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And Picard keeping his head just like.
And Picard's like, you know what? You two are kind of alike. You're kind of the same. So like maybe you could see some admiration with each other. He's like, you're both great leaders and negotiators, and like I think this is how Picard mediates all things, just with flattery.
He's so BSing his way through this.
I like this look at her. Like, you just see the face. Like, how the hell did I get here?
I listened to this Picard for way too long. Anyway, they're like, let's have a break. Let's have some brandy. Let's have some chill here.
Let me sleep on it.
Let me sleep on it, baby. Multiple Meatloaf. Yeah, this is like a Meatloaf reference.
You're just pulling it off. This guy's just totally pulling off.
So this is where Yuta, she's pouring the brandy. She's about to go hand this to Chorgon, and this is the chance. But Riker, he beams right over. They're about to choose the brandy, and Riker's like, he just shoots the first guy who grabs a weapon. Boom. Picard's just like, what?
Okay, well, it's kind of weird that Picard did nothing for this whole scene.
That's
right.
Picard
was shocked.
He's just shocked.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He just sits there the whole when he's shooting Yuta, like this goes on. Nothing.
Yeah.
He doesn't try to take the weapon from her.
He barely says anything. He just mostly sits there. So they think it's a Federation ambush, but no, Riker is here to point the phaser at Yuta. He's like, Yuta, I know what's up here. I know what you've done, and you don't have to do this. And she plays ignorant at first, but he talks about Plinthar Mall. How do you know Plinthar Mall? And she's like, what about little me? I just want to hand this brandy to Chorgon. Paradise by the dashboard light. Jeez.
Picard's being mad patient, he's putting a lot of trust in Riker right now.
Oh yeah, she's trying to bring over that drink, trying to get close enough to touch him, and Riker's like, back off, your life's in danger here, Chorgon. He goes, who are you? And she eventually reveals who she is. Like, she's from the clan Trellis. He's like, there are no more Trellis. Oh, but there are. I'm one of the final 5 that were turned into Terminators, and we were sent off to wipe all you out, get back at you for killing all of us. And the blood feud. And she's like, you used me. She's like, totally Maruk. I don't like getting your water.
Picard's like,
anyway,
put up the power in the phaser. He used me too.
But we also, they told that Chornak here, he's like the very last. He's the last of his entire bloodline. So,
wow.
It's kind of crazy. And he was definitely not alive when her clan was massacred. So like 100 years ago. So he has nothing to do with it either. It's just, but that's, maybe that older guy did potentially if he was, but he was presumably a kid back then. Anyway, so he's like, but you're not leaving the ship alive. I'm telling you that. He's like, Riker's like, I know. Watch. Let's see how this plays out. Riker trying to talk her down, just walk away. As I was saying, like, why can't Riker just tackle her? Why can't Picard grab her? Like, even Maruk for that matter, right? But Riker's trying this thing, like, you can't keep going. And she's like, I have to. he presumably hits her with stun the first time, but it doesn't like knock her unconscious as you would expect, right? So he ups the setting. This is strike 1. We head into strike 2, and she's like, it kind of reminds me of like Catwoman in Batman Returns, where she keeps getting shot by Max Schreck. 8, 9, time to go. All girls go to heaven. If you remember that scene where Christopher Walken kept shooting her, and then eventually we got here. Riker's like, okay, we're going to maximum setting. Presumably this is even hotter than what they used to vaporize that metal earlier, which I think is part of the reason they did that, was to set up the fact that these phasers can completely disintegrate people. And it's gone. He's like, this is it. We're at maximum setting. Yuta, you got to back off. I know we could physically restrain you, but it's
beam her up.
You could even beam her out.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Norman's going on. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
beam her to the brig, man.
Beam her out. Beam her
to the brig. Put your patch on her.
Yep, it
doesn't seem necessary to vaporize her. Anyway, but
maybe because her intent, like I was saying earlier, like her intent was lethal. So at that point, it's kind of like.
Well, and she literally just has to go like this to kill. She like so there. And so she tries to like fling herself at Chornak in the final move here,
right?
And we see a woman get vaporized from the midsection out.
Strike 3, she's out.
Yes, this will happen a little slower in our version. As you see her like wincing as she's burned up from the abdomen out right here.
Incineration.
Yeah, you can even see her like whoop. And that is that. As Picard's like, whoa.
Picard's like, what am I seeing?
Yeah.
What the heck was in that brandy?
This is strong drink. And then we see Riker is just sad here. He was like, and the look here for Picard. I don't know what to make of this look.
He's like, I can't believe you did that. Did you have to do that?
Did you
Excess force? Excess force.
I think you could have just tackled her. Like it seems like, all right. Maruk is sad. Where's she? It's hard.
No one's gonna sample my food before I eat it.
She was my
Nobody's
best.
Gonna serve me my cold water.
I've seen. Anyway, Chornak thanks Riker. He's like, I'm in your debt, and it seems like Riker's not happy to have saved Chornak.
Yeah.
Chorgon.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like Chorgon's not the nicest guy, but he's not.
He's like, you can't sleep with me.
Yeah, you're not my type. Sorry,
not my type.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we get this final scene here where Riker's, dealing with his trauma and with the drink at the bar in 10 forward. And Picard, this is Picard's way of helping Riker. He just comes in, he gets this pad, he sees, he kind of knows what's up here with Riker. It's interesting, like there's no scene here with Troy and Riker or any of that, right? It's just,
I actually said that as Picard comes in. I was like, where's Counselor Troy for this?
Yeah, it seems like a good Troy moment. And Picard doesn't even talk about it. Picard's like, hey, we're gonna go to that star base and
take some time off.
Why don't you take some time off? I need to go chill, go get laid, whatever you're gonna do. And Riker's like, well, I'll pass that along to the crew, sir. He's like, very good. Carry on, number one. And that is, it's kind of an abrupt ending in some ways. As Riker's like, okay, that's it.
Did you, any of you guys find it weird that the first officer is like sulking? I mean, and dealing with his stress, but in 10 forward by himself.
Mm-hmm.
A little, like, again, like Counselor Troy not being there, and the fact it's just an interesting choice here to, for Picard to come in and not even talk to him about it. Just like, what are you gonna do? There was a crazy blood feud, and you had to vaporize her. It happens, I guess.
Well, yeah, would have been interesting to see, like, maybe he's coming out of Deanna's quarters or something from a conversation into 10 forward to kind of give that impression that maybe he's been kind of dealing with it or working with it. You don't see Geordi any other time other than the beginning, which I thought was kind of interesting. But yeah, it's sort of like this thing where he's the first officer. He has this role as being sort of like, the liaison to, like, to all these guests on the ship. But the end is such a stark contrast to how everything began with his whole attitude. And you can tell he's there by himself reflecting on his role as first officer. because it's kind of like, how am I supposed to approach this type of role if I'm getting like too comfortable and overstepping the boundaries of myself as a person, but my boundaries in my role as the first officer, because this type of shit happens.
You went deep on that, my man.
It's true. Right?
Well,
and he's responsible. He's the one who pulled the trigger.
Well,
So
he is responsible, and he is. I think that it is important for self-reflection and all this, but I also think, I mean, this is the 80s, and we didn't know any better. But they would have done a lot more of the counseling and getting through things.
Yeah, it would like today. It would be like a trauma, and they would reference it probably for multiple episodes after. But
because right, and he's also got to set an example for the crew. I mean, if you're going to be going through trauma, you got to go and heal. And in this series, and certainly the original, there was no they killed people all the time. They witnessed horrible deaths, and nothing. They just went on and had a drink, and. But and it was still happening here. Adam's taking Ted's line. What do you mean, Sam?
I think it's the 80s. We didn't know.
Oh, the 80s we didn't know. Yeah, I know. I'm doing that purposely, Sam.
Yeah. Where's that now?
You haven't been to Newfoundland?
Newfoundland. I've been to Nova Scotia, but not Newfoundland.
Sam would like you to visit. You've been to the territories, right?
I've been, all over. Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Yukon, all that.
Cool. Adam, do you have any fun facts for us to digest?
I have a bunch, actually.
All right.
I'll start just by a couple of things here. This early titles for this episode included the human factor, the vengeance, and the weapon. Kind of like the weapon idea, I think, or maybe the human weapon would have been good too. So director Timothy Bond, he also directed the episode All Good. Most Toys or whatever. What's it called? Most Toys.
The Most Toys? Let me have a look here.
With Kivas Faggio.
Okay. Yep.
I really like that episode.
Which season?
It's a great. I think is it this season? I think it might be this season. The Most Toys. Hold on. Is it coming up? No, maybe it's season 4.
It's a strong episode. That one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is coming up this season. Yeah, it's episode 22.
Yeah.
That's the one where like that collector guy is played by Saul Rubinek wants to like put Data on display.
Data, yeah.
So I remember how like and Data's like might have tried to kill him right before he got beamed away.
Yeah, that's right. They said they're reading his phaser blasted, right? Yeah, crazy.
And then they asked Data about it. He's like, he just kind of shrugs it off. It's like I'm still like left.
No, but then they say the disruptor was in discharge. It was about to be used.
Yeah.
What's interesting is like Data doesn't. He might even lie about it, like which is the more might be the most interesting thing about that episode.
Wasn't it Jordy who just basically pointed that out at the end? Is that actually the weapon was in discharge when we?
Maybe it was O'Brien or it was Jordy, like somebody.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, back to Timothy Bond. He recalled it was a fun thing to do. The dialogue was of little consequence, and I think some of it was even cut. There's a tendency in television to say, "I'm opening the door now." Well, just open the door. It's not a radio show. So we were able to make this episode quite visual, and the art department came up with some bizarre painted backdrops. They lit with green light where there was smoke. They showed that also showed the feature the best set I've ever had. Wow. We only had it up for 2 days, and it was such a shame to tear it down. He's talking about the set.
Oh, with all the metal trusses and everything, and all that stuff. Yeah.
That was actually the Forbidden Planet backdrop. They rented it as well.
Forbidden Planet. What's that?
1958, I think it was a movie.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, while we're on Timothy Bond, he's actually Canadian from Ottawa. Adam.
Oh, I'll go find him.
Yeah, he's 82, so he's still around.
Shake his hand. 2 good episodes.
Yeah. He explained. He went on to explain why Picard had no reaction to Riker killing Yuta. Regarding Picard, I'm afraid there is a reason for his lack of reaction, which were opticals. He couldn't move for that one period where she gets vaporized. I guess because of the special effect.
Right. So he can't even emote. He's like, no, you're part of the scene. Yeah. So just
in retrospect, maybe that was a mistake of mine. I just had this idea that it would be really neat if she's just vaporized. So he never really considered that Picard was there.
Right.
Wow.
Interesting.
So Picard was there in the shot. That meant putting several layers of elements into the shot. And in order for it to work properly, Picard had to stay still. Not a good reason. When I saw it, I actually regretted the decision. But by then the ship had sailed. And believe me, Picard noticed it too. He even asked, "I'm just supposed to sit here and do nothing?"
Wild. Wild.
The other problem was, what could he do? We knew Riker had to kill the girl and didn't want to get Picard shot by the phaser. In retrospect, what I should have done is what you usually do: don't have him in the shot. If he's not there, the audience doesn't think about it. Why doesn't? And we all did. We all thought, why doesn't he react?
Mhm.
Why doesn't he react? Why didn't he try to do something? Why didn't he could have got in between Chornak, whatever his name was, right? Chornak,
Mhm.
Chorgun,
Chorgun.
and her. Like, he has no agency in the scene whatsoever. He doesn't say one word. Like Maruk does more.
So I'm going to have to change my my saying, Sam, because this was the last episode that aired in the 90s.
Whoa.
In the 80s.
Really?
In the 80s, pardon me. Sorry, 80s.
That's wild, man.
Last episode of the 1980s. Wow.
Holy smokes. And you guys remember when it turned 1990? It was like, as soon as it hit 1990, everything changed around what people were dressing, wearing, saying, and they were always like, we could do it. It's the 90s. It's the 90s. It's okay.
Shaggy wasn't born yet, so he might not remember.
Shaggy was born in 1990, so my birthday's upcoming.
Yeah.
I see. Well, that's what it was when you were born. It was like, like, who cares? It's the 90s. You could do everything.
You should have seen when it turned 1980. It was crazy.
Man, I wish.
I missed that too. Sorry.
I wish, man.
I
was born too late.
It was the 90s. We didn't know.
Well, I can say
Sam wasn't even alive in the 90s. So hey, we're all
such a shame.
Yeah, you missed a good one.
80s and 90s were the best.
Let's come back to this great episode, young guys, you young Padawans. Okay. The Gatherer ship was a studio model, was a reuse of the Mondor from Samaritan Snare.
It's the Packlet ship. I knew it. Yeah, it's the Mondor. Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, let's keep going here. I already did that one. So we covered that one. So, I covered. Sorry, there's not a lot on this one. Actually, I'm just going from different websites to the other ones. And there's not just redoing the fun facts here. There was one. Oh, great quote. It was when Maruk met Brill. And she was yelling at him, "You people haven't changed in 100 years." And then he says, "You should know you were there." That was a great line.
Yeah, I love that line. It was a great line, man.
And I think the actress was only like in her 30s at the time or something.
What?
She wasn't. Yeah. Like,
wow.
I want to like, so
mind blowing.
Nancy Parsons let me figure this out. In 1989 was 89 was she was 47. She was 47, guys.
Okay,
that's a little bit more.
People in the 90s look very or young. They looked old.
Everyone looked old.
Yeah. I think it's the food.
Like
maybe
the smoking.
Like, we're all young women.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Okay.
It blows my
and then
mind
the facial markings. We never really talked about these, but the gatherers all have the facial markings. Actually, Maruk has one too, but they're unclear if they're unnatural or not, or natural. But they have everybody has a different one, so there's really not any relation to the clan. So we don't. That was a miss. I think they should have explained that better.
Yeah, because some don't have, like Maruk doesn't have any facial markings, for instance.
She has the forehead.
But don't they all have that?
Like the butt?
Yeah, the butt thing.
The butt?
Yeah.
Bring some photos back up. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. I usually don't have to bring them back. Hold on.
In the meantime, like one thing that I caught was Maruk. Like the first thing I thought was Maruk, Marelo. Like she's wearing yellow. So the name is kind of like matching almost the color of what she's wearing, or vice versa. So
Maruk has like this
she definitely got the butt.
She has like the butt ridge, but when you look at
her looks like a
somebody
vag.
Put a sensor bar.
Hers is more of a vulva sort of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then He doesn't
Meatloaf.
have it as much though.
He's got a big thing on his cheek, on his
On
right
his
or left.
cheek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some of
It's
them have like
burns.
these bumps, and I don't know if that's because they're like they're not healthy or something, or like what those were meant to represent. But
It's like
He was
like,
a bat out of hell.
What you
was a
call
bat
it? Like
out of-
radiation burns. It looks like
Yeah,
radiation
it looks
burn.
like.
could be
you know?
radiation. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
like I think
And-
it's meant to be that like they don't live in like the best conditions.
Yeah, and he's got the butt brow. You can see it.
Yeah,
I guess
It's there.
okay. Back to you, Adam.
I'm going to leave it there and move on to ratings right now. That's,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thank you. That has been Sexy Fun Facts with Adam.
Not sexy.
All right. Well, then let's get into
That's
our
a
rate.
dope ass illustration.
Yeah, let's get
I
into
like the other one
our. All right, let's do this. Sorry, everyone. I'm a lot of sorts here. Okay, score it. Let's score the episode ratings. All right. I'll go first. I thought this was decent. I don't know how. It's not like the one I want to rewatch all the time, but it
Mhm.
was pretty good. So I give it a. It's about the same as last week for me. 7.5. Adam.
There's something I do like this episode. I like Yuta. I like the names they chose, like Trelesta and Penthar Mall. These are very memorable names, and Maruk, and so just on Riker's smooth. I just think that he's got one thing on his mind, and that's it, because he knows that at the end of whenever she goes back with Maruk, or had it ended the way it should have, he would have moved on to the next woman. So I'm gonna give. I just like this episode though. It's cool. It's different, and so I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay. All right, Marcel, your first rating.
I feel like there's those, along with what you guys said, I totally agree. I think those are really cool things. I do feel sort of like we're missing out on a lot of things that could have been expanded on. And I totally would have loved to see that, like a double, or maybe, revisiting it later.
Untapped
right now,
potential.
Untapped potential is a good way to put it. There's a lot of untapped potential. But it was definitely entertaining. I mean, I think Bro was hilarious. I would have liked to see more of that. I would like to see the home planet that she was talking about. I think if it was more like a contemporary, like a Picard series, you'd actually get like a flash of what the home world actually looks like, why it's so attractive, like why it's so important, and things like that. In any case, my rating, I'd probably give it maybe like a 6.5, maybe like a 7.
Which one? 6.5 or 7?
Probably 7. I'll be generous.
All right, 7.
My first
All right.
time on here.
Yeah, be generous. Why not? And Shaggy.
It's been a while since I've done a rating. I think much like I was saying it at the beginning of the episode before I crashed out, Star Trek just seems to do murder mysteries and whodunits very well. I think Marcel's absolutely correct. I think I would have liked to seen a little bit more from this. A 2-parter would have been great, maybe a little bit more on the mystery side. However, I still really, really, really enjoyed this episode. I will probably give this an 8.5.
All right. Well, you're the high mark tonight. So we are averaging 7.8 out of 10. Not bad.
Not bad.
IMDb is 6.5, Dave.
6.5. Interesting. All right. So that's about 7.1. So even though I liked this episode and last week's episode equally, the panel did not. So this was definitely an upgrade this week. Although Marcel, you did watch last week's episode too, didn't you?
I did. Oh, yeah.
Would you like to leave a rating for the price?
For the price? I don't know. The price is right. Let's see.
The price is very reasonable.
I'd probably give it. I'd give that one a 6.5, not a 7. Probably 6.5.
6.5. Yeah. All right, you helped bring it up 1 point.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, because everyone was giving it 0s and 1s and 2s last week. So
yeah, I just like the relationship between Riker and what's his name? Rai?
Raul
Devanani
Raul.
Yeah, that's right. So Raul and Will, that like tension between them and their conversations and all that shit, that they're playing like chess with each other, poker with each other. I love that. And I also did appreciate how they threw in the Ferengi, kind of pulling their hijinks and shit, and like how Ambassador Mendoza, like how he was really on point with certain shit and they wiped him off the board. So I saw it as a big like game of chess, that whole thing. And Raul was just similar to the way Yuta was, which by the way, Yuta is a guy's name. It makes me laugh when I see it. His name's Yuta. But it was very similar in terms of chess. Like both of these characters are coming in and they're using Starfleet officers as chess pieces for their own intention, you know? So I see how those episodes are sort of like two sides of the same coin. So my rating can't be too far off from each other, to be honest. So yeah, exactly. I'd give that. Yeah.
Shaggy, we haven't seen you here in like, I don't know, it looks like 7 weeks. Is there any of the ratings you want to drop while we're here?
You
don't have to. It's just wondering.
What's funny? I took my dog for a walk and listened to The Bonding, and much like everybody, I like to joke about Worf adopting this kid and saying we are like brothers, and then never reference him again. Mm-hmm. I also really like that episode. I probably give that a 7.5.
All right. Cool. Okay, and so for tonight's episode, Norman is giving this a 7. Sam is also giving this a 7. So, and Sam's also asking, how is the enemy higher than Who Watches the Watchers? The enemy was really good. I thought, for me, it was at least.
That's Geordi and the Romulan, right?
Yeah. Right.
That is a great one.
Sick. Yeah.
I can see giving that a 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 10. I liked it that much. Okay, well that's our rating here for tonight for the Vengeance Factor. Thanks for being with us. If you stuck this far, we are looking ahead to our next review. It is called The Defector, it's the one with this Romulan who comes over and tries to. It's a whole other plot. It's been a while since I've seen this, but it's a good one.
This guy is amazing.
He is great.
Yeah, this actor.
Yeah. Kills it.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, James Sloyan, I think, plays him. Yeah. Yeah, he was really strong. So I'm looking forward to reviewing that one. I'm not sure. Well, actually, I do have a little teaser to mention with that one. Yeah, we have Jody is the only one signed up for that one right now. A Romulan defector seeks asylum aboard the Enterprise, claiming to possess critical intelligence about an imminent invasion, but he is a truth teller, a traitor, or a pawn in a larger game. Join us next week as we unpack The Defector, where loyalty is tested, trust is fragile, and the shadow of war looms just beyond the neutral zone.
I'm in next week. I thought I said that. I'd be happy to join.
Oh, maybe I didn't write you down before.
There's one thing that just jumped to my mind from the previous episode with Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the wormhole. When they go through the wormhole, where do they end up? In the Delta Quadrant. Same place as Voyager, so that tripped me out. It's like, oh, man.
Have you not seen the episode? Have you not? So there's an episode of Voyager where Voyager runs into those two Ferengi.
Really?
Yeah.
What season is that?
It's season 6, I think.
Really?
Voyager. Yeah, go watch it. Yeah, like
it's better.
It's better. It's better than The Price. It's even like it's really good.
I mean, that's a low bar
for you. So it's
no. Well, Dave, I have no idea how you like this. I mean,
I like Star Trek.
Marcel, you're going on about this episode way too much because it was not good.
I'm trying to milk it a little bit.
Don't listen.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I used to be like
you.
Everyone
can have their own take. It's
subjective, Adam.
Shaggy, I think you have to go watch The Price and tell us if you like it or not.
I was disappointed in
Deanna.
Sure to do that. I'll be honest. I was very disappointed in Deanna, but at the same time, I get it because this guy had powers of his own, so he was duping her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like, it's all consensual. If she wants to fall for him, she falls for him. I can't do anything about it. So, anyway, and anything else? Marcel, did you want to plug anything before we sign off here for tonight?
Just it's Memorial Day, Remembrance Day. Veterans Day. Important day, so let's remember the people who sacrificed a lot way before our time. You know what I mean?
Well, even during our time.
People, and during our time as well. Absolutely,
100%.
very much so.
Lest we forget, Veterans Day for the Americans. And yes, and speaking of which, check out every Monday we cover another show here on the podcast. It's called For All Mankind. We are now into season 4, and we'll be talking about season 4, episode 2. Have a Nice Sol this Monday night. So check that one out. Adam's excited. And he'll be there for that. So that's it for tonight, everyone. We'll leave you with a quote, and we'll head over to. We'll see you next time here on Live Long and Progress. Thanks to Shaggy, thanks to Frost and Adam for all being here, and we'll see you next time. Let's go with this one.
There is so much to gain, and there is so little to lose by the effort. This problem affects us all. It cannot be ignored.
Why can't I get my thing to scroll? Sorry. Why isn't it working?
The moment of silence.
Guys. Okay, sorry. We'll see you next time here on Live Long and Podcast. Good night.
Peace, y'all.